Hello my loves, welcome back to Lavendaire and Happy New Year! I hope you guys are enjoying 2022 so far. So today I thought I would share what I wrote for my 2022 goals, and I wanted to share not just my goals but my process of tracking my goals and how I plan to achieve them. So if you haven't watched my New Year planning series yet, I'll link the videos here and down below. There's a reflect on 2021 video and there is one on planning your 2022 goals. And those videos are interactive. I just share the prompt, give you time to plan. But today I wanted to just get a little more personal, share what I actually wrote down for my goals this year and where I'm at in life. So let's start with my theme for 2022. Last year, my theme for 2021 was peace, because I just felt so stressed and frazzled and burnt out with life that I just wanted to come to a sense of inner peace. And last year really was a lot of like healing, letting go of internal baggage and letting go of this like burnout cycle that I was in for a long time and learning to slow down and do less. So as I was deciding what I wanted my theme to be this year, I gave it a lot of thought and this word just kept coming back. So the word was nourish. So my theme this year is nourish. And what that means is I want to prioritize nourishing myself, my well-being, my health, and putting myself first before my work and my career. Because I think for so long, for as long as I can remember, I always put like work or school above myself. Like I would overwork myself and be stressed and knowing that, oh, I'm not being healthy today, I'm not working out today, and kind of like putting a lot of like the health and wellness on the back burner because I was trying to like make deadlines or things like that. And I've come to a point where I realize I don't really need to do that anymore. Any extra stress is unnecessary. So what if I just put myself first before work and my career. If things don't get done, they don't get done because I have to put my wellness first. And I really am curious what it feels like and looks like if I truly put myself first above everything. Like if I truly put everything I can into my health, my happiness, my mental health. And I know from the outside it might seem like I've been doing that because I have, I've been juggling a lot of things, but sometimes I do get out of balance. Like 2020, 2021, I was burnt out, tired, and really slow. I allowed myself to slow down a lot to the point where I stopped having like an exercise routine. I felt a little like dull. I just felt like I really needed to like hibernate and go into comfort zone and just allow myself to be in a blanket and watch Netflix. Like I really needed that for myself. And I think that's also balance, right? You need rest, but I want to question how much can I show up in life? How much can I shine? How much can I thrive? And I just am curious what it looks like if I were to put all my efforts into thriving as my brightest self. So when you have a theme, it's good to ask yourself, like, how can I embody this theme throughout the year? What are the things that I can do to live my theme more fully? And so you'll write down like maybe a few ideas, like, okay, focus on the joy, take care of my health, all these little things. But what I found is after you write all those notes, it's a lot to remember, right? You're not gonna look at that every day. So instead, boil it down to one daily guiding question. And so I kind of created a daily guiding question for me related to my theme, because that's my yearly intention. So my daily guiding question that I wanna ask myself at the start of every single day is, how do I wanna be nourished today? It's really simple, but it is related to my theme because every day nourishment will look different. Sometimes it means more sleep, sometimes it means eat fruits and vegetables, like I don't know. Essentially, the purpose of your daily guiding question is that it reminds you to stay aligned to your theme, but allows enough flexibility that you can take it into your everyday. Moving on, I will share my top 3 goals for 2022. So a tip I have as I share my goals is that I actually wrote my goals this year in present or past tense in sentence form. And that is just to add a little bit of manifestation oomph because I'm writing the goal as if it's already happening right now or as if it already happened in the past. So that is just to kind of like trick my brain into believing like it's closer than it really is. So I encourage you guys to do that with your goals as well. Write them in sentence form, in present and or past tense, as if it's happening or as if it already happened. My first goal is related to health. I wrote, my body is healthy, fit, and beautiful. I put my health and wellness above all else. I have a health routine and I am consistent with it. My second goal is related to travel. I wrote, I've had many fulfilling trips this year that nourished my mind and my soul. I am inspired by all the travels I had this year. My third main goal is related to my team. I wrote, I've built a strong foundational team for Lavendaire to thrive on its own with little stress from me. I trust everyone on my team fully. We are strong and we are capable. Another tip when you're setting your goals is to remember why this goal is so important to you in the first place. So for each goal that you set, make sure you know your reason why it's so important. And for me, my overarching theme and main goal of the year really is to thrive as my brightest self. And the top 3 goals that I set for the year are really under that overarching theme. So now that we have the theme and the top 3 goals for the year, the next thing I do is break it down even further. So in the workbook, there is a year at a glance layout, and for now, I kind of put some notes from astrology, things to remember for myself personally throughout the year. And I only have the first 2 months really planned. The rest of the year, I don't really have plans for yet. Then I have a quarterly layout where I lay out the focus for the first quarter. And for me, it is rebuilding my team. And so I have my goals and projects for the first quarter, and then I kind of break it down into how am I going to try to achieve these goals in the first quarter by month. So what I can get done in January, February, and March. Then there's the monthly layout where you actually plan your goals for the month. And then there's a weekly breakdown where, again, you break it down even further. Okay, how am I going to achieve these monthly goals by the week? So for January, I do have a couple goals that are related to my team building and just creating new products for Lavendaire. And then my main mini goal is getting into an exercise routine, because health was my #1 most important goal for the year. So I kind of break down weekly just my work goals, but on the next page I have a habit tracker and a daily tracker, and that is where I'm really tracking my wellness journey and my wellness goals. So the habits that I listed in my habit tracker, these are all habits that I had to reflect and ask myself, okay, if I am thriving as my best self, what am I doing? Or what habits do I do that make me feel at my best, that make me feel like I'm taking care of myself, nourishing myself? So I wrote down exercise, have fruits and vegetables, meditate, journal, tidy, cook, or read and learn. Although I have all these habits written down, it doesn't mean I want to do all of them every single day. So I just write them down here because I want to track how often I'm doing it, because only once you track it can you recognize, okay, maybe I only read 5 days out of the month. Oh, let me try reading a little bit more. Or you kind of have a gauge of where you're at, and then you can kind of set your goals from there. But really, I'm all about focusing down and keeping it really simple so that I just star one habit that I want to focus on each month. So this month it is exercise. Obviously, I talked about health and having a consistent exercise routine. So because I started that one, I will do my best to actually try to exercise or move my body every single day. And I'm only on day 3, but I've been doing it so far, so yay me. But that's the idea, is I just focus on one habit at a time. The other habits I want to track, but I'm not stressing out over doing all of them, because that would be overwhelming myself. For the daily tracker down below, remember when I told you I had a daily guiding question based on my theme? So the daily guiding question was, how do I want to nourish myself today? So here I just wrote the question of, how did I nourish myself and my well-being? So it's like a reflection question at the end of the day. Did I actually nourish myself today? How well did I do? And I basically rate from 1 to 10 how well I nourished myself that day. And then I can track literally how, from 1 to 10, how much I am living aligned to the theme that I set for the year. And of course, you can track whatever else you want on the daily tracker. It doesn't always have to be your theme. It could be anything. It could be your level of joy, your level of purpose or success. It could be anything. But I found that this is helpful for me to focus on my most important goal, which is the theme to nourish myself and to thrive as my brightest self. Because all my goals are really really supporting that overarching theme. So those are my goals and how I plan to achieve them throughout the year. What's great about the workbook is you plan on a month-to-month basis, and you can always like update your goals. You can always update what you want to focus on. So it's very flexible. It doesn't mean like you have to stick to the goals you set at the beginning of the year, because we might change throughout the year. We might change our minds, things might come into our life. Allow space for flexibility. I'm all about just, you know, kind of steering as you go and being open. A note on planning digitally versus on paper. So I know a lot of people have this whole setup in Notion and it looks very pretty, like their top 3 goals, all their yearly goals and how they achieve them. Like I've tried doing that on Notion and I found that, I don't know, I just didn't update it as much as I should have, especially for like habit tracking and things like that. So personally, I am trying to use the physical workbook more this year because number one, I don't want to look at a screen too much. I feel like I'm already looking at too many screens throughout my day, so I just want some like analog time. And also, I think what works best for me is like doing big picture planning, habit tracking and stuff on paper, like so I don't have to check the screen every day, but just to organize my daily most important tasks and to-dos on Notion digitally, because once they're done, you just like throw them away. So really you would use this workbook to remind yourself of your overarching goals for the month or for the week, and then you would use something else, like whether you want another planner or Notion or something digital to plan out the week and the daily tasks. And of course, you know, at the end of each month, we take the time to reflect on the past month, how we did, what we learned, what we could have done better. And so every month we should be learning something and fine-tuning and tweaking our process so that it gets better and better over time. So let me know down below how many of you like to plan your goals on paper versus digitally. I wonder how many are still analog, because I love physical journals and writing on paper. But anyway, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video and seeing my process on my goals. Sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!